Can you stop this man? Can you stop Erling Haaland? Norway to Ivory Coast 1. On the contrary, Haaland is the kind of player that may not have any impact in the game, and suddenly, boom, he scores. That is exactly what happened in this game. This game was fairly poised. Antonio Nusa for Norway scoring in the first half, and Amad Diallo, a Manchester United player that does his business in England, came on as a sub and he scored the equalizer. And in the 86th minute, Haaland scored the second goal. That goal was enough to see off Ivory Coast. That means that Ivory Coast are now eliminated from the FIFA World Cup 2026. It also means that Antonio Nusa scoring the first goal won the Player of the Match award. This guy was a live wire for Norway. The Ivory Coast defenders had a tough day finding solutions to the problems that he was causing. And that means that Norway will be facing Brazil in the round of 16. Of course, Brazil will be favorites to qualify for the next round, but it would be a grave mistake to underestimate Norway. So it will be really interesting to see which team comes out on top. And of course, France doing what they know how to do best. They have beaten Sweden 3-0. A brace from Kylian Mbappe and a goal from Barcola was enough to see off Sweden. Sweden have now been eliminated from the World Cup. 2 goals yesterday from Mbappe means that he is just 1 goal behind Lionel Messi, who is the highest goal scorer in World Cup history. And of course, Sweden have now been eliminated from the World Cup. They had a very tough game against France yesterday, but France were just too good. Even the substitution for France, those players came on and really had an impact in the game yesterday. This also means that Kylian Mbappe has now secured the Player of the Match award for the game yesterday against Sweden. This guy is just inevitable. You really cannot stop him. And if you manage to, there is also Dembele there. And if you manage to stop Dembele, there is Olise. If you manage to stop Olise, there is Doué. If you manage to stop Doué, there is Barcola. That French side forward, that forward line is just something else. It's crazy. And of course, France will be facing Paraguay in the round of 16. I see this as an easy win for France. Despite Paraguay beating Germany, I still think that France will be favorites to qualify for the next round. And of course, Ecuador have now been eliminated from the FIFA World Cup after losing to Mexico early this morning, 2-0. Goals from Quinones and Raul Jimenez was enough to see off Ecuador. I felt that Ecuador tried their best, but Mexico was just too organized. They were too disciplined in the act of passing the ball and creating spaces. Just 2 or 3 passes and they are into the third part of the Ecuador side. Just 2 or 3 passes together, they are in the box of the Ecuadorian national team. So I felt that Mexico were just too hot to handle for Ecuador. Sad news for all the Ecuadorian fans out there because they have now been eliminated. Mexico will be going into the round of 16. On to other news, Ronald Koeman, the manager of the Dutch national team, has resigned after his side was eliminated from the World Cup yesterday by Morocco. It will be really interesting to see who the Netherlands will appoint as a new manager for their subsequent tournaments. And on to other transfer news. Here we go for Matheus Fernandes. This would have been a very sad watch for all the Manchester United fans out there, because most of them were already living in the illusion that their team has already signed Matheus Fernandes, but unfortunately Tottenham Hotspur had other ideas. They have now secured the services of Matheus Fernandes for £85 million, and they are also going to be paying him €250 per week. That is a lot of money for a player who has been relegated twice consecutively. It will be really interesting to see if this guy would really worth that amount that Spurs have just spent on him. More news will come your way as soon as they come my way. See you guys soon.